You're listening to the audio production of Redwoods in Wales, Becoming Who You Actually Are, by Phil Joel, published by Thomas Nelson and read by the author.
Dedication. Dedicated to my incredible kids, Finley and Eden, and your amazing generation. Let your roots run deep, grounded in the love of God. You're the now and the future, and I'm so excited for you all. Ephesians 3:17 through 19. I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the Lord's holy people, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. Preface. About me, Phil. Hi, I'm Phil. A pretty simple guy from a pretty simple country, New Zealand. A husband and a dad trying to trick my kids into thinking that I'm a grown-up. I have 4 chickens, 3 dogs, 2 fantastic kids, and 1 ridiculously incredible wife. I like Marmite and toast that is burnt on the edges. I like to kayak, paint, juice veggies, camp, and write songs, not all at once. I've been a touring musician most of my life. I've had the same haircut since I was 17, or rather, I haven't had a haircut since I was 17. I'm just a guy trying to live a simple life with God at the center. And that's about it. I think that about sums me up. Okay, so that's that. Good? Cool. So, another book in the world, huh? I mean, really. There are already so many books and podcasts and blogs and blah blah, right? Why another book? Why now? And why from me? Good questions. Well, let me first say I never intended to write a book at all. It wasn't some kind of bucket list thing. I simply had an experience in Northern California that I felt prompted to write down, and then somehow it kept going and growing from there. It became more like a connect-the-dots picture, where one thought led to another, and then slowly, after I'd connected a bunch of dots, it began to shape into something that I could see and that I felt might be helpful for people. I decided that once I'd connected enough dots, I'd have it printed and made available at the events I'd be playing at, either with Zealand or Newsboys United. I wanted something that was going to help anyone who might be feeling stranded and a little disoriented in life, and inspire people to pursue a life with God in the center. So it wasn't until I was casually catching up with Brian Smith, Zealand's publicist, that it came up I'd been scribbling away on something called Redwoods in Wales. He wanted to know what it was about and who it was for, so I took a shot at giving the clear and concise elevator pitch that would explain everything in about 17.3 seconds. What came out was a bumbled jumble of words, hand movements, and pieces of abstract information from nearly every chapter of the book, which I knew even when I was delivering it, it must have sounded confusing and disconnected. I butchered it, but somehow through all my enthusiasm and incomplete sentences, Brian caught the vision. He understood what I was trying to say, or at least heard the heartbeat of Redwoods in Wales, and got completely lit up over it. He immediately wanted to call his friend Joel Needler, who runs Emanate Books. He felt this would be a project he might be interested in and wanted to know if it would be okay to give him a call. Normally, I love that kind of bigger picture thinking, and was flattered he thought someone like Joel, who is in the real book world, might be interested. But I stopped him dead in his bright-eyed, enthusiastic tracks. I said, Brian, I don't mean to shoot you down, but there's no way he's going to be interested in this book, because you and I both know that once he finds out that I don't do social media, that'll be the end of the discussion. The last thing I want is to be a time waster. So if you do talk to him, just be sure to mention this right up front so he doesn't find out later and get frustrated. Brian smiled and said, sure, just let me talk to him because I got a good feeling about this. I remembered shrugging my shoulders slightly and responding like a 12-year-old with a good old-fashioned, cool, which when translated into adult means, there's no way there's a publisher out there crazy enough to take a risk on a guy like me with a book like this, but thanks anyway. So the fact that you're listening to this book right now makes me laugh. God's ideas, plans, and view are always so much bigger and better than my meager mustard seed faith. I'm embarrassed to say that I didn't see God connecting the dots between me, a long-haired, bell-bottom-wearing musician, with a truly visionary publisher like Joel Needler, who, after reading my first draft of Redwoods in Wales, said that he felt it's right on time for right now. My prayer is that he's right. I mean, sure, I believe him and understand that a lot of amazing people are looking for fresh direction and wanting to find their true selves and their true places here on earth and begin to take deep breaths and enjoy life. But the reality is that this book isn't going to do that. Only God can do that. But God can only do that if we're willing to work with him and make a move. It's all about cooperation. It's about moving forward, a single step in the right direction, and it's in that
Sample complete. Ready to continue?